Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol. Let's jump into it. And today, let's catch up on where I've been for like the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it is. I've been kind of quiet on this channel. So the good news is I've been doing an awful lot of writing. I've been finally truly motivated and getting into writing the Nice Card, Mean Card book, which I've been working on for a while now. And I've made a lot of progress. And I'm up to the 7th draft, which is when I print it all off and basically go over it with like a marker pen, doing a whole bunch of chops and changes and things that I should do differently and words to come out and way to write different sentences and all that sort of stuff. Way to write different sentences and all that sort of stuff. Because it's very, very different editing off something that's printed as opposed to something that is on a computer screen. I do almost all my work on the computer, and it's amazing how much you find when you actually print it off into a hard physical copy. So once I'm through this, then the actual writing part of it is done. Then it's just on to formatting and title and not title, cover and printing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm getting very, very close, and it's getting exciting that that's happening. And one of the things that sort of really struck me over this last month or so is how clarifying writing is for me. Like, I did the Nice Card, Mean Card video series, and it was good. It's just genuinely good. But having taken all those transcripts and then gone on the process of turning them to a book, I've had so many more flashes of insight, bright ideas, things where I could clarify, chop, change, and share additions. I'm thinking probably the content is 70% the same, with the 30% difference being largely new stuff and clarifications and additions. I think the transcripts themselves, when they were printed off, were about 35,000 words. And I would have edited that down to probably 31, 32,000. And that now we're currently running at about 44,000. So there's more content, which is good. So I get all my bright ideas from writing, and I've been really realizing I have to make writing my number one thing that I focus on, which is not to say the videos go away, or I don't do blogs or anything like that. That's all important as part of the social media thing to support the writing, but the writing becomes my number one. I think it's probably what I'm actually the best at. And even when I'm doing things like shooting videos or creating a video series, it's not so much the actual production and the shooting and the editing of it that makes my brain spark. It's the scripting process. That's where I get all the bright ideas. That's where I start really realizing things. So for me, the writing just unlocks my intelligence and creativity in some way. So I have to really focus on that. And the really, really, really good news is I know exactly what I want to write as the next book. If you've been following me for a while, watching the videos or whatever, you know that I sort of ping pong backwards and forwards, like, should I write this? Should I write that? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's not like I even have writer's block. I have writer's traffic jam from all the different ideas and things that I could write. So I finally have some real clarity, and the way that I got to that is through a couple of things, but the most important one being that I've really recognized that my mood goes up and down, and I'm pretty sensitive to things people say, people I meet, stories I hear, the weather. Today is a beautiful sunny day and I'm happy and joyful. I'm really sensitive to things, and that is just something that's not going to change. I'm going to be up and down. And the things I want to write when I'm down are different to the things I want to write when I'm in the middle, and the things I want to write when I'm in a really good place. The other thing that struck me is once a book is created, it's just out there. And once it's out there, it'll tend to attract things into my life. So if I wrote a book about turtles, that's going to attract into my life people who are writing me emails about turtles, people sending me pictures of their turtles, questions about sick turtles, how many turtles can you have in a certain size pond. People would start sending me turtle paraphernalia like turtle pillowcases and turtle shirts and turtle hats and backpacks, and my whole life would be turtles. And books are a really powerful attractor to the author, I think. So if I write something when I'm in a really dark, bad place, I suspect that that is going to attract something into my life that is going to be somewhat darker and heavier. Whereas if I write something when I'm in a really good place, that is hopefully going to attract that level of stuff into my life. So the next thing I write, I've decided has to be when I'm, the thing that I want to write when I'm in a really good place. And that way I write it, it attracts more into my life. I'm sensitive to the good stuff. I feel happier, more joyful, all that sort of stuff. And I finally have real clarity on the topic, on the title, on the subtitle, how it's going to be laid out. And I'm really excited to get to that. And I'm basically, part of my motivation for finishing Nice Card, Mean Card is just to get to the next project. So that's pretty much where I am, what's going on. I'm hopefully going to pick up the videos a little more. And I will talk to you soon.